everybody, and welcome to another session of Couples Therapy. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, let's go!
February 24th, 3:12 p.m.
Yes.
3:12?
Yeah, 3:12.
3:12.
Yeah.
3:12.
I said 3:12 p.m.
Yeah.
Why does that sound wrong to me?
I don't know.
It sounded really wrong.
Do you want us
and I
to
don't
say,
know why.
like, 1500?
I don't know. I don't know what
It wouldn't be 1500, it would just be 50.
It'd be 0500.
That's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 1512.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It just sounded
Emma.
wrong. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I was nagging you for your clock, and I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
We had to make it 10 times more menacing.
Yes.
Because it was serious. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
What did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming. Oh, no, I did because I looked at the evidence file beforehand.
Yeah, it's like, I actually looked at evidence, Nick.
You were like, oh my gosh! And then Nick's like, I'm behind this, and you're like, no!
It's like, Nick, look! Read! It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. And suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant.
Bang, crash the light.
What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture?
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known. He was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true, even though we may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma, you've been through so much.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years... Oh,
2
sorry.
years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable.
I got excited and being dramatic in my readings. I'm sorry. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor.
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did you run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator?
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly! Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her.
I guess we can do that. It's fine.
I don't really want to see her right now.
I mean, I'm a little emotionally... Okay.
February 24th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room.
Lana!
Good evening, comrade.
Hi.
Poor officer back there. Hello, comrade. Stop that.
I ran over an old lady today.
You could be arrested for that.
Just because I'm in jail doesn't mean I can not lower your pay rate.
Here we go.
It's a joke. Someone I knew who lived in Russia for a few years, it was just like, oh, ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, you can do whatever you want. I ran over an old lady this morning.
Oh, okay. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence? I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About
About
what?
how you were a detective 2 years ago.
Oh, good.
And how the S9 incident was a reason for a transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. I mean, I'm not singing.
A lot of revelations were
I'm a
uncovered at
bad
the trial
child.
today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen. I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, I'll draw my side.
Okay, drama queens, let's calm down.
At 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
That's a start.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before.
I am a sad, depressive, emotional teenager. With no parents.
I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing! They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
Excuse me.
Then he was the vice head of criminal affairs, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever! They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed!
Emma really idolizes her big sister.
No, I don't. I hate her. She's a jerk.
But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was...
to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could later use that experience in court.
Gant's help in the SL9 case was critical in its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago.
Fine.
Keep talking.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the chief detective was, no doubt, Damon Gant?
Yes. Detective Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
Swimming.
Swimming! Like, they're just sitting in their office and Gant's just like, Lana! You wanna go swimming?
Oh my gosh, Gant, we have a job to do.
But I just really want to! I can't focus unless I go swimming!
After 5, okay?
Okay!
Had the same
Focus!
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho.
Dun, dun.
Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer.
Actually, looking at Joe Dark's design, he looks like another person in the second game.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't you think so?
We're talking about the guy from the final.
Yeah, the final one. Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Which is funny.
Yeah, no,
Maybe they're related.
the second game final case is like one of my favorite cases.
It's so good.
Anyway, we asked him.
I think it's probably the most unique case in the entire series, in my opinion.
Agreed.
We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when the last murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Detective Gant and Prosecutor Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages when Dark must have panicked. He waited until Gant and Marshall left their guards down, and then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Damon Gant and myself.
That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run into the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies?
Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who was passed out. Oh, that was Phoenix. And the suspect, Joe Dark.
It's okay. It might as well have been Lana.
Yeah. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident?
That's right. Quite a coincidence,
I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident, just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to the extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live with the rest of their lives with their memories.
that case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs.
Yay.
How many minutes left in an episode?
We have like 4.5 minutes.
Let's
I
go.
don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The other department seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later.
No, we don't have to. I don't want to talk to the guy over there. He freaks me out.
February 24th, Police Department entrance.
I love how the guy in the background looks like Gumshoe, but it's so not Gumshoe.
Right?
It's like a Gumshoe cosplayer.
Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall. Sorry, Luke was shaking things over.
Shaka shaka.
Shake, shake.
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning.
Nice little shake shack dance.
Shaka shaka.
Were you looking at money to throw? Or
What?
never mind.
Oh, okay. I'm so confused.
Don't be!
Okay.
Did you read this?
Yes.
Okay.
Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus.
Good riddance,
Hey, where are you headed?
Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why do prospectors head west?
Gold?
Yeah,
Oh,
good job. Checking that you're paying attention.
Yeah.
If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today.
nope.
Nope.
I don't get a steak lunch. You don't get a steak lunch.
Marshall.
Mercer! Mercer!
Something was fishy about Mercer? Mercer?
Mercer!
Mercer?
Mercer!
Mushu?
Sorry, I missed that.
Shut the fudge up, sir.
Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning.
That was perfect. Thanks, Siri, but you piece of crap.
It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought.
What do you mean, fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
Murder weapon.
Murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with a broken tip?
That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
Means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However,
You okay?
yes,
Everyone has
We'll
been
get you
yawning.
food.
It's been spreading.
It's spreading like a plague.
however, in the report
Why
that
you
was
laugh more?
finally submitted, that possibility had been erased.
Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
I love how we can just look at each other and immediately just burst into laughter. It's just like pin drop.
That case left behind scars on all of us.
It's making Brittany laugh. I'm sorry. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. Seriously, I bet if I ever actually got into voice acting, there would literally be tapes of me just laughing for no reason.
Right.
And they're just like, Miss Church, can you please stop?
It's like,
Mrs. Church.
we are on a budget and a time schedule.
You son of a bitch, Mrs. Church.
You're like, I got no sleep.
Except they might then like slip them in somewhere. It's like, he'll work for a crazy person. It's fine.
I don't know. Person in the audience. Anyway. So technically the episode's over, but should we finish this scene?
Let me see how much he has.
I think we just have to ask him questions.
Yeah, that's all we have to ask him.
Let's finish it up with Marshall.
Yeah, let's finish up Marshall and then we'll go off.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he? Your brother?
He was 27 at the time.
So young.
He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor? You don't mean...
King of prosecutors.
Not that again.
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer.
They pick really bad days to schedule those at the same time.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious.
They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina.
I'll get upset all I want.
I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky.
Oh. Well...
Chief Detective Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. Excuse me.
Hello.
Good day.
Good day. It's high noon.
There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers.
After the case ended, Alonda transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yep, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left.
What? She hasn't? I did not know, except I totally do.
Everyone who knew her said so.
I have.
Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective.
Now that he mentions it, I said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded.
Son of a gun.
I never found out.
Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago.
So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
Yes. What?
It was certainly enlightening.
There's what?
Ah!
I'm sorry. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy.
Yay!
He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant.
Haha!
Swimming.
Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today.
Oh, okay. Have you been drinking with the cap on this entire time?
Too bad I won't be around to work with you.
Mescalol!
Mescalol? Is that a new medication?
Is it like Midol?
when you become a real scientific investigator.
Marshall, no!
Adios, Bambino.
Don't leave me!
Bye.
Goodbye, Marshall, and we will continue next time.
Next time.
Farewell, Marshall. I literally don't think we ever see him again.
No, only in
He's
flashbacks.
gone. Yep, goodbye, Marshall.
Marshall!
It's sundown.
Some attorneys are dishonest, they'll do anything to win, and that's when the true challenges begin. Just believe in your client and the truth will be explained.